Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first official edition of the Seercast, previously known as, or loosely affiliated with, the Scrying Pool podcast. We're hopefully moving a little bit forward with this. I am Knight, and with me is Robo.
Hi.
Orange.
Hello.
Kitten.
Hello.
Geena.
Hi, I guess.
Lime.
Hello.
And as usual, Walter is in the chat, and he says hi. We're here to talk about the last half of the month of May, because the previous podcast that is on my channel covers the rest of it. We promised you a podcast before now. Emissaries came out on May 28th, May 29th, and at that point we were just like, we're just gonna wait. So, here we are after the BTS, and we'll be talking about what is in the June BTS, what has happened in the last bit of May, and what else has transpired in the past few weeks. So we're going to go ahead and get straight into this. In the middle of May, there was apparently a farming update. Added new seeds for new patches, and yeah.
What did they do again?
It happened.
Yeah,
pretty much.
It happened. You can get them from Jagex, apparently.
Yeah, Draconic Jagex, spam your inventory with them. It's a pain in the butt.
Do they sell at all?
I haven't tried. I can just go try and then
I know I can
Let's
see what
find
sells
out.
for what.
Yeah,
I know I can buy a Super Zamrak 3.
Oh yeah, they did upgrade the.
I don't know why I know that. I just know I can't.
They did upgrade the various brews. Are those any good now? Do we know?
I have no
Do we
idea.
care?
I didn't buy it. I was something else.
What the hell even is a brew? I stopped using those
Yeah.
right after EOC.
I never really used them before EOC, so yeah. Okay, so that happened. On to the probably the most important part of the last month is the kind of trifecta of Mod Osborne's podcasts, the Finding of the Gall, and the Emissary updates. So, for anybody who is unaware of what had happened, or maybe might not be quite as informed, or just half paying attention, Mod Osborne is hosting a series of podcasts, official Jagex podcasts, all about lore. So it's a bunch of lore casts. They've done 3 so far. We talked about the first one in the last podcast, I believe. The last of this podcast. And then the last 2 have been about the future funny, and I can't remember what the last one was about.
Stuff.
It was about stuff, yeah. Oh yeah, the signature heroes. But they talked a lot about the lore and stuff, and and then a couple weeks ago, the Gall that was hidden. Geena, your mic was going crazy.
Oops.
The Gall, which was hidden with the Brink of Extinction update, was found and was...
What?
Like, it took us months.
Yeah, it took us forever, and was found to be harboring a... Geena, stop it.
I don't know what's going on.
And it was found to hold a treasure trove of Elder God lore. And then the emissaries came out and have all sorts of nice goodies about the gods that we all know and loathe. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the stuff from the Gall.
Oh, by the way, did you know that he actually didn't have the Gal released with the Brink of Extinction? He actually added it because players were wanting to figure out what the last bookcase said.
Really? Honestly?
Yep. He added it
Actually
around the holiday.
responded to players? What? Really?
Yeah.
It's not like
only
it would
had
have been found accidentally before then.
He only had an hour to code it though, so that's why it's super tricky to figure out. Because he didn't want to mess up his other projects. So yeah, he did it in an hour, and then
Did
added
it
some
in
random
an
lore to it.
hour. K-Mod Chris L. K. Wow.
So an hour of work for that much searching.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. For anybody who doesn't know,
I mean,
it does have a ridiculously complicated unlock condition. it involves the rune date, the current rune date divided by 10, and that number of shards, tuckle, and I can't remember if there's
Hang on,
there's
There's a ring of stone and a
you have
ring
to
of
have a ring of
visibility.
stone. You have to
Use
activate
it,
a buff, then deactivate it, and you have to have an uncharged tuckle. Like, it's the most ridiculously complex set of circumstances ever to unlock the thing.
Whoa, wait, you have to have at least one piece of obsidian armor. Donate 15,000 total to the fight cauldron. Unequip any obsidian armor. Unequip any obsidian armor you have equipped. What? And equipped an uncharged Tokel Zo. It has to be uncharged. Leave the city with exactly, however, the rune date divided by 10 obsidian shards, and then you have to round it down. And then you have to use a ring of visibility on a ring of stone. And then it will appear anywhere on the map.
In a nutshell, it's just Q_Q.
Yeah, pretty much. It
Sounds like one of those old game cheat codes.
Yeah, it really does. It is. Yeah, it's one of those things you'll never find accidentally, and I mean that clearly was the idea, because we've had teams of people searching for months and months and months to try and unlock these.
He can even be found underwater.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, apparently. But yeah, wow. So yeah, there's that really complex thing for a lot of Elder God lore, where we learned that the two of the Elder Gods, including Jas, are both female, and that they are still here, and
A bit inactive though.
yeah, a bit. And yeah, what else? What have I missed? Because it's been a while.
The other one is called Full.
Fool. So it's Jas and Full are the two that we know for sure,
Yes.
and we have names for.
Jas is the god of time and like sand and earth, and Fool is the god of consistency and fire, and she created the Elder Kiln.
Nice. So there's all sorts of Elder God stuff with that.
Nice, Kitten, nice.
I
the fool.
No, please no.
Okay.
Yeah. But we don't have a whole lot of time to discuss more about the Gaul, but if you want to look into it more, check out the wiki. There's full transcriptions of everything there. The Elder God stuff is cool, but there's other God-related stuff that we should probably talk about.
Before that, on an unrelated note to the gal, but about Elder Gods, it's apparently confirmed in one of the podcasts that the evil creator god of Furnace Gate is actually an Elder God.
Ah. And Lime says what?
Yeah.
What?
What?
Walter says the reason is because he is a creator.
Thank you, Walter. Thank you.
How about them emissaries?
Walter showing his use. Although he has a ton of stuff on the thread that I'm going to be going by about the emissaries. So we'll go ahead and get straight into the emissaries. If there's anything that Mod Osborne mentioned in the podcast stuff, aside from penguins, which we will talk about sometime somewhere, and we'll spam about that. We should have an entire podcast just dedicated to penguins sometime.
Why is the motherland Acheron?
No.
Why?
No Lime. No Lime. Bad Lime. Bad. Yeah. Okay, so we're going straight into emissaries. I'm going to open the floor to the rest of you for this one, because, yeah, I know that a lot of you have a lot to say about this, so...
Oh god, yeah.
Robo, go.
Damn.
Well, I was gonna go in there and just like read all the emissaries and then go choose Godless, but when I got to Godless, it seemed like, well, they just wanted to kill everyone that worships a god. Like,
Yeah,
doesn't
they're more
matter.
like theists.
Yeah, pretty much.
What Walter says on our thread is the godless emissary is not against hurting the supporters of the gods. So pretty much if you support a god, you're fair game as a target. So what, 90% of the game world?
Yeah.
I think what turned a lot of people off from joining the godless is when he mentioned the cold elf and Prifendas walls. Like, all the other ones, like, what was it? What was he talking about? It was some evil gods, but then he just mentioned Prifendas, and like people like Prifendas, and so if you join the godless, godless, it's like you're gonna go be killing elves, and so that doesn't feel right.
Yeah, again. Sorry.
So ironically, the people that disagreed with the godless's views joined Surrend. It seems like I did.
Yeah, it seems the godless emissary is not exactly well liked.
The royal asshole.
Yeah.
He's not what we thought he'd be.
Interestingly, Seren is technically another type of godless, since Seren is kind of dead. Well, not dead.
Seren, like the way that Seren is portrayed is very much like a godless kind of.
Because it's more like Seren is with all of us.
Yeah, because the way that Walter puts it on in the summarization post is the embassy of Seren understands that idealism isn't always going to work, and sometimes violence is all that will be understood. And the embassy of Seren sees Zamorak as a particular enemy, but has little love for any of the gods. Like, Seren is very much a kind of godless god. Which is
kind of just neutral-ish.
Odd. Yeah, very neutral, very...
that being said...
I'd also like to point out... Okay.
What is it?
I'd also like to point out that Seren was really close to Guthix during
That's
the...
true.
like, it was literally depicted like she was her, his love interest.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I didn't read it like that, but okay.
It sounded like that to me in all of the stuff that I've read since The World Wakes. It really seems like they were a couple. Like, I mean, perhaps I'm reading it wrong, but I certainly see it that way.
So do I.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and Walter says yes as well. So beyond Seren and the godless, there are also 5 or 6 other gods. I think it's 6.
It's 8 total.
Yeah, so there's 6 other gods. Next up, I guess we'll talk about Saradomin a little bit. God, that emissary, that was my least favorite, because it was like, okay, you really are manipulative. Like, oh my god.
I was hoping to actually see some honesty behind Saradomin's followers. So I was looking forward to
because I was getting tired of it.
Saradomin created the world. I was like, forget this.
Yeah, it really was. Like, what...
I heard this on my first day in free to play.
Yeah. I mean, it really is like, wow. Now you're just going to straight up lie to us. I mean, we know that you're lying. You don't have to, like, hide it. We know you're not telling the truth here.
Yeah, the biography and the official wiki says that this Saradomin emissary actually knows better than most priests, but yet she still says the same lies. She doesn't say anything different than any of the others.
And it bothered me so much. Like, yeah, like with Saradomin, it's just like, they know that they're just lying idiots, yet it's just like, just keep telling the same thing in order to get what they define as, like, peace or whatever they want.
Order.
Like, when they know it's wrong.
Yeah. I love the Saradomin's the one true god. Like, it's just like, wow, okay.
Okay, sure.
I'm done here.
Yeah.
I'll keep clicking through the rest of dialogue just to see your BS, but, you know, that's enough is enough. It really is, like, super narrow-minded and super, just kind of conceited.
We actually gave them a chance this time.
Interestingly enough.
We gave them a chance.
Alright, go on, Robo.
Interestingly enough, Zamorak's emissary actually is a bit more honest than all the other emissaries. Like, he actually talks about how people who follow Zamorak are actually like Zamorak. They want to take power where they can. And
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I actually really liked the straightforwardness of Zamorak's emissary. It really was like, this
It got me to join him.
This is who we are. Like, you can join us or you can not join us, whatever. It's fine, but this is what we are. This is what we stand for. So, yeah.
That, coupled with the amazing lore that Zamorak had in the background, is what got me to join Zamorak.
Zamorak was the one with the Moya lore, wasn't it?
That was a...
Yeah.
I pushed it linked to Gina. The first, how many words of the diary, of the journal.
First sentence there.
It was, my name is Moya and I was wrong. And that pretty much shatters all of the speculation about Moya being the person that died, or being the Majorat that died at the bottom of Daemonheim too.
Yeah.
So, that kind of puts to rest that strain of thought.
Kind of.
Maybe. Probably.
Walter's sticking with this very end.
Walter. Seerdome is the most popular god, thus the best. What is his, high school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Clearly the most popular. That means clearly the best. Or the one with the most idiot followers. Quality over quantity, man. But yeah. Okay, so, and then...
Speaking of idiot followers.
Bandos!
Bandos is both actually
I
pretty interesting.
I actually liked Bandos' emissary too, though. Because it's very much like, we just like killing things. We like going to war, like...
Pretty much. Just like, we like war. Wanna join us?
Novelty to it.
Yeah, the book reveals that Bandos didn't actually destroy Ubius himself. They actually just tricked his following and destroying each other.
Yeah.
What I find funny about that, though, is because, as said by Mod John A., right after all the people on Ubius died, he realized that he has no followers left. And that...
Whoops.
So he
So
went
he
to
made
Guyland.
Yeah, he made it this BS, the Hope Spear, and told all of his rest of his followers to stop fighting and that there'd be a chosen commander to lead them.
Yeah. And then a quest was born. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was... Go on. Okay, or not. So yeah, the Bandos' emissary was interesting. Very straightforward. Very, very much what we were expecting, though, from Bandos, because if there's one thing that Bandos does very poorly, it is, subtlety.
Peace.
All that too. But, like, I don't know. Yeah, Walter says, Bandos tasks order you to kill goblins.
Yeah.
Logic.
It bothered me that all the tasks were the same for every emissary. It's just like,
That's just lazy.
It is.
Yeah.
It is kind of lazy. Would kind of like to see that not be the case, but whatever.
Well, at least there's that differentiation. You can't kill White Knights with Seerdomen, and you can't kill Black Knights with Zamorak, but...
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess for the same reason, because Bandos did order the two tribes on Ubius to kind of kill each other, the people on Ubisk to do that, he has... I can actually see him ordering you to kill goblins. Like, these guys are out of line, just go kill them.
Well, yeah, they did kind of make that little scrap of Lumbridge look like hell, but...
Yeah, pretty much.
Goblins carry notes.
Yeah.
Pick up notes.
Yeah.
Everything.
Journals. Journal hunting with goblins.
Oh god.
Alright, well, moving on from Bandos, we have Armadil, who... I don't understand Armadil so much.
I did understand either.
Similar to, Armadillo is similar to Seren, except he sees he's kind of like Seerdomen, that he wants to spread his word, but he's like Seren in that he's allowing to share it with others.
Yeah, he's very neutral-ish, but is very much on the side of good at the same time. But he sees all the bad in all of the other gods because of what they did to the Avianzi. It's like, it's a weird multi-layered kind of...
Well, I mean, it makes sense because Seerdomen kind of, helped kill all those agencies, so I don't think he'd trust him anymore.
Oh, go on, Walter's mentioning stuff in the chat, saying that it's an amazing story with Armadil because it creates new Elder Staff lore, like the Staff of Armadil, where he lost the staff before he left the world, and the staff can be used to nurture life forces and make things grow. Is there anything else that
can be used to murder Gothics?
Or that?
We're not there yet. Like Spanish series.
It also proves the existence of gas giants in the Galanor universe.
Of what?
Gas giants.
Why so?
The planets.
I said why?
Okay.
Why so? Oh, he visits one. Oh, I guess I missed that part. Okay.
And also completely underwater worlds.
Well, I can see that.
That kind of parallels along with, like, stuff like Babylonian and Sumerian lore, kind of just with, like, underwater cities and gods coming from the sky, like, things like that. If you take that literally.
The water levels.
That was Greek lore.
Brine Saber, yes.
Whatever. There's like Greek, Akkadian, all these other ones.
Did you hear about the he did this was in the Funny podcast, I think it was, where they were talking about the Brine Saber and how they obsoleted the weapon before it was released. And I laughed so hard when Mod Osborne said that. Because they realize what they do with this. They're not idiots when it comes to the weapons they release, the content they release, and them actually going out and admitting, like, we made this weapon and it didn't work before we released it in the
like,
way that it was intended.
We're fully aware that this weapon sucked. Have fun.
Yeah. It's like, it gives a bonus for underwater, but
cool.
there's nothing you kill underwater. Except the things that drop this weapon.
Rum-pumped crabs.
Yeah.
Well, there is, but then...
That's it. That's
Forgot
the
they
only...
existed.
Yeah.
They came out years later though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's... Yeah, so that was interesting. Just the Brine Saber thing. Okay. And yeah, so now from here we get to the two interesting ones. First of all is Slisky. So for those of you who are not aware of the situation with Geena, she is now officially in game. She is the Slisky emissary, and that, as Mod Osborne put it in his first podcast, it's just some follower of Slisky saying, "This guy's good. I like this guy."
He helped me. I join him.
It wasn't really help. It was more like just distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is holding a banner saying "Go Slisky."
Well, kind of like just a sideshow. I'm breathing fire, and that's it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about the fire breathing. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's like, okay, circus act, but I still joined him anyway. So
I don't like the Slisky though. The Slisky lore, sorry. It shows what we do already. Slisky has...
Lime, your mic is derping. Yeah.
People say that Slisky is becoming Gothics because his banner is green.
What? How about no?
Sure, maybe no.
Actually, although I can kind of see them having similar, like, cause Slisky's very much his own, like, he'll do more or less what he wants, and will like try and stay away from everybody else, what everybody else is doing, like, intentionally. But, yeah. The Slisky emissary is hilarious.
He was awesome. Either way, for me, the sales pitch worked.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew I was going there the whole time. Wentz did his update, just ran through everybody else, and then walked over here.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was.
Yeah, pretty much.
with Zeros, who we come to next. If nobody else has anything important to say about Slusky, I see Walter typing, so I'll wait.
Oh, wait. What?
Oh, he wants to go back and talk a little bit more about Armadillo. I'll mention this. Walter says one important thing about Armadillo to bring up is that his followers do not like Saradomin due to what he did to them in the God Wars dungeon. In fact, none of them show support. None of the emissaries show support for Saradomin except for Saradomin, who apparently thinks he is quote unquote the one true god. I wonder why no other emissaries don't like him.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Like when you openly have a shitty attitude to everybody, it's just like...
I mean, you saw it in the World Wakes, too. Like, he was the first one back, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Sup, guys? I'm here."
Taking over.
Yeah. It's mine now.
Allow me to teleport you. Oh, shit.
Splash.
Wow.
Well then. But yeah, so that was interesting. And, yeah, it's just, it's the one thing that Zeros and Zamorak agree on, that Saradomin is an ass. Yes.
Pretty much.
And when they agree against something, you're screwed.
Crap's gonna hit the fan.
Yeah.
It used to be that Zamorak and Saradomin agreed against the Zeros, but now it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Oh, and that reminds me. Zeros is not like he was in the Second Age, apparently. Like, his views are a little bit different.
Interesting.
He's a flying sentient cape.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get right on into Zeros' emissary, because this is definitely the most interesting one. We talked about this a little bit before the podcast, but to say what we said again, I'm just gonna straight read what Walter has written here. The article on Soren, which is Zeros' emissary, is now different than what it was when it was originally released. As it's a community article, that makes sense. However, this is on the official wiki. This means that there have been only 3 editors. 2 of them were the same JMod. The most recent was done on June 1st and is the only edit not done by a JMod. Going back in the revision history shows a line that was in there, that was in there, no longer in any of the edits. In addition, the new edit, which didn't actually change anything, is somehow still over 90 characters smaller. This means that This means that Jagex manually went in and edited the Soren page's history to hide a line that was originally there, but forgot that it wouldn't change the character count of the edit as that log was made when the edit was made. As normally they don't change it since it wouldn't auto-update. Walter still has the version. The missing line is as follows. It is unclear whether or not Soren is Zeros in another form due to his name and cagey manner. It basically implies that Jagex is covering up the fact that Soren might in fact simply be Zeros, and is kind of poking his head above the water on the world to see what's there, who might support him, what kind of stuff. It really is kind of a huge implication.
Sort of makes sense along with his character, because he doesn't, we don't know if do we know if he's completely human just because of the different face, if that's even a mask?
It doesn't look like he's human. But I mean, Armadill's emissary is very much an Avianzi, so...
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if he was Zeros, because I think in his dialogue he says Zeros is watching.
Yeah, that's true.
He's right in front of you.
Yeah, dumbass. Yeah, Zeros is... Ow.
But that doesn't really make sense to me, because isn't it said that Zeros does not want any followers anymore? He wants as little as possible?
Did he?
Well, he probably
In
sees
his
the
wall,
adventure. Oh yeah, he doesn't want any followers, but supposedly Soren sees something in you.
Be interesting then.
Yeah, I don't know. What was it that...
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems odd. It is, yeah, we aren't just a random person to him. With that, like, he already knows our exploits, regardless of whether we agree with them or not.
But some of this happens if you're just a new player in the game. This happens before.
That's true. They did make this with that in mind.
Remember that the emissaries take place after Guthix died, and it's implied that the player is the one who released Guthix. So, even though you might be a new player, it's assumed.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Simply because they're on the
I think that they chose some like I'm not sure what the word is. Like, they would show some like respect towards the new players not knowing this.
Yeah, they clearly aren't going out and spoilering things. But I do think it is obviously implied from the way that the timeline is set up that this stuff already happened, and by what they said in the time when they released the 6-stage timeline is that if you hadn't done these quests yet, it's kind of like a flashback, like you're going back and playing stuff that had already happened because the World Wakes has happened and the 6th stage is here. But yeah, so the Zeros emissary is quite an interesting character, to say the least. And
Zeros' new views,
Zeros'
new views seem to imply that Zeros' plan wouldn't involve just him being the sole ruler, but like other gods can be there, except that he's really the one pulling the strings, except no one knows.
I mean, he is the god of control, though. That's what they've said. Is like
I'd expect him to be more like Moriarty with like this vast empire of secret people.
Like imagine that Zeros' plan might involve him actually being defeated, but in reality it's just to give that idea that he's gone, but he's actually still there.
Yeah. Or maybe even not to appear to come back, but in fact be there and be strongly influencing something. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of, because of the way that Zeros is a shapeshifter kind of character. Is he officially a shapeshifter?
No, he doesn't have any form right now. He's just, you can consider him mist.
Well, like, before he was defeated by Zamorak, was he, because I know that he could take other forms. He could take alternate...
that's because he's more of an idea than like a corporeal being. He can sort of possess other beings.
Oh, he was very much a corporeal being when Char was talking about him.
No, he had a corporeal being, but he didn't he possessed others, is what my mindset is. So in that, he could be a shapeshifter only because he could steal other people's shapes.
I don't know.
Still makes sense that way, yeah.
Pretty sure gods can shapeshift them.
That's true. The Guthix could change forms. But then again, Zeros and Guthix are basically, we know them as the most powerful gods the world has seen, aside from the Elder Gods.
Formerly.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously Zeros isn't that powerful now, or
and
we don't think he is, and Guthix is dead by choice, but...
he's still not
They
powerful.
were the most powerful gods that the world has seen.
Funny that both the most powerful gods are the only ones that have been defeated.
Yeah, but...
well, besides Teska and Skarga.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
But Guthix, you have to remember though, that Guthix could have prevented his own death. Like, he knew that it was coming from a mile away, and he was like, okay, I'm done. I'm just gonna kind of roll over.
He literally knew that from a mile away, the end was coming.
Yeah,
literally.
They probably did. Yeah, and Walter says that Guthix and Zeros were both on the same level, like approaching the Elder Gods in power because of various things. But yeah, so before we go, before this takes even longer than it should, I think we should probably push on past the emissaries, and all of the other various things Walter is saying. Yeah, that's true. Walter says that something that he finds funny is that Saradomin may have been the oldest god, and clearly two have overtaken him. Because Saradomin was there when Guthix became a god.
The fall of...
Clearly there.
Naragi homeworld.
Yeah, because he was part of the reason of the fall of the Naragi homeworld. And we don't know exactly the path, how old Zeros is, or how Zamorak is relatively.
We do know that Zeros is as old as Saradomin, if not older.
I'm assuming that the second you mean is Zamorak? Like, who would be the second? Because those are the only two. The only two that we know, as far as I know of, that are younger than Saradomin are Guthix and Zamorak. Oh, that might be it. Osborne apparently keeps hinting that Saradomin might be the oldest.
Like heavy-handed hinting.
Yeah, he mentioned it several times in the last podcast. I guess I missed that because I was doing something else. Multitasking for the win, I guess. Yeah, okay, well that's interesting to keep note of, and that's something interesting to keep in mind as we move forward into the 6th Age, and with more God content, which begins to bring us to June. So the BTS this month was interesting, because there's apparently a lot of stuff that is in production on the table, that is like a kind of sort of about to be released, but as Mod Mark says, with the imminent launch of RuneScape 3 coming this summer, the team is working hard on a huge range of updates, all thematically and functionally linked to the 6th Age. It is going to be an amazing summer of content, but it means that the content launching this month is in flux. At the end of every BTS, we always say if it's not awesome, we won't launch it. That is very much the case this month. So, as a result, he only says specifically that 2 updates are going to be this month, and lists, 15, 20 other updates?
20, yeah, it's 20. I counted 20.
I have a guess on what those 2 updates will be.
Yeah, it's 20. 20 bullet point updates, and some of those are multiple updates in their own right, like epic world events, 4 6th Age quests. Yeah, Owen did really sound almost done, and Owen isn't even on this list.
I say that they launch all of them at once.
Yeah, okay, Lime.
I think the tool belt and the trees are going to be the new updates.
What?
Yeah, the tool belt and the new trees are going to be the 2 updates.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so before we get into this long laundry list of updates that are in production, that are at various levels of creation, the next update, the one that is happening in 3 days or 2 days, depending on when they release it, is the Order of Ascension, and that is the long-awaited, maybe, Range Slayer dungeon, which has an interesting premise behind it. It's after Guthix died, a small order of his kind of went insane. I don't quite understand the reasoning of this, but it says in the BTS, I'll read verbatim, this huge force of misguided Guthixians have taken some dramatic action since their god's death, including capturing locals for dark, mysterious purposes, and they must be stopped before their attention turns to the more populated cities of Gielinor. They're based in the Feldip Hills, so who really cares about anybody down there anyway? But we apparently do.
The Isle of Dead content.
Yeah. Pretty much. They went rogue for science. Okay, Lime. But yeah, so this is the Range Slayer dungeon that they've been talking about since RuneFest, really, right? Or not RuneFest, since the big update thing that they released in, I don't even remember when that was. It was a bunch of months ago, where they said, like, all this stuff, a whole bunch of the big stuff that was coming up, this was part of it.
Yeah. And
so this Range Slayer dungeon includes Slayer bosses, which is something that I don't think we've had so far. It has a new level 90 crossbow, and then a bunch of other high-level Slayer targets for ranged alone. And it seems like it's kind of built for social Slayer as well, which is an interesting thing, because nothing else has really been built for that. So, I don't know, what do you guys think about this?
Yay. Crossbows are probably gonna be expensive.
I'm gonna go there to get the new lore noob papers.
Oh yeah, and there are lore noob papers, like, throughout.
Oh wait, there was?
Yeah.
Wait, did you miss that?
Yeah. Yeah, there is. It says the story of the Ascended is a rich and interesting one, and the full story of their past can be found in collectible lore book pages, which will be scattered throughout their home. So yeah, I remember them talking about that in the BTS video.
Why do they like to rip their books apart and throw them on the ground?
Yeah. It may be, and Walter says one strange thing is that it says throughout the place, but the BTS vid says by killing. And yeah, that's true, but maybe it has something to do with, like, some of them are just, you pick them up. Some of them are off of stands or whatever, and then some of them are by killing. Yeah.
I hope it's
Be
by
nice to
killing
have
because
Another journal hunt.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Maybe it'll give me an excuse to actually go Slayer. Probably
Yes,
not.
thank you.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so this looks interesting, and it looks like it really does have a lot of lore involved, and we'll see how expensive this crossbow becomes. We'll see if bots find their way here. God, I hope not. Usually they can't figure out how to do anything but melee, but you never know. And they've been kind of thinning significantly over the past few months, so that's good as well. It's about time we see the bot watch really start to
Have effect.
yeah, really. Like, it's everywhere. The only places that I really see massive amounts of bots are unfortunately rune crafting. The price of nature runes is still absolutely dirt cheap. Not like I have any anymore to sell, but yeah. Rip 1 million nature runes, but
Any guesses?
So any guesses what?
So any guesses on which two of those updates will be the ones that come out this month?
I have no idea. Knowing Jagex, it can be anything.
Wait,
Trees.
what do you mean? Like, oh, we haven't even gotten to talking about those yet. We're still talking about the guaranteed ones. Unless anybody has something else to say about the Order of Ascension, the other update is kind of random. The Crystal Triskelion, which is like the Enchanted Key version 2. Or the Crystal Key, or whatever it was. It's some kind of treasure hunting.
Yeah, there was like this thing, and it gave you a Dragonstone, and and this apparently gives you Dragonstone armor because more Dragonstones.
Yeah, because more Dragonstones.
Yeah, we apparently need more purple shiny rocks.
Yeah, of course.
It doesn't seem that good though, because apparently it's free to play. And free to play stuff can't be good.
Well, but that means that it's going to have some demand because it would be the best free-to-play armor that's available.
Yeah.
So it will be worth something, and it could be worth quite a bit because of that. But I guess we'll see. It depends on how rare it is. It's apparently you find the key pieces. You have to clip together 3 key pieces instead of just 2, and yeah, they're scattered. What does it say? It's you find them through fighting high-level Slayer targets and engaging with a variety of high-level skill content. So yeah,
It's pretty much just Crystal Key V2.
Yeah, pretty much
yeah.
is.
Not much.
I remember they
past
had a suggestion thread about how to improve the crystal key, so this is probably that.
Yep, probably.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this, it is kind of like since this one is something that kind of came out of nowhere, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of lore involved, and yeah.
So it's as
Just
long as
stuff.
Yeah, it seems, of course, it is worth mentioning though that it says that the loot found within each chest will be pretty spectacular. It's hard to say what that even means.
Yeah.
But it looks like it'll definitely be worth it. Maybe not specifically farming for key pieces, but it will be worth going and getting stuff out of the chest if you have the pieces. Yeah. And the key and its parts are untradeable as well, so it's not like you collect
Good.
30 loot paths because lol RNG, and you sell them because you're lazy or whatever.
Oh, by
Yeah,
the way, did anyone read the BTS and just go like, what, after they started seeing the soul and stuff after the crystal key? Like, I thought that was the end of the BTS.
Oh yeah, I did too,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then I saw Community, and the new interface system, that competition, oh my god. Like, the rewards for that, for first and second place, are like, what? For pretty much no effort, you could win a lifetime membership and 2,500 rune coins, like,
Wait, what?
uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's, you design an interface in the interface system. And if yours is the one they choose, the best one, I mean...
How many different ways are there to...
Yeah, I know. But, infinite, really. It says all the NIS developers will be taking part in picking their favorite designs by the community. They will be looking for creativity and usability, along with reasoning behind your designs. So you have to make a video or take a screenshot and type up a paragraph as to why you have stuff where. And
Okay.
if they like it the best, first prize is a lifetime membership and 2,500 rune coins, as well as it being one of the
Presets?
yeah, the presets. Which
Pretty much, like, anyone who's good with organization can easily just be wonderful at this.
yeah. And then there's runner-up prizes. There pick one runner-up. It's one winner and one runner-up, which is a very small chance of winning. But again, if you're organizationally minded, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, it would take probably half an hour at the most for a chance at lifetime membership, and kind of a spot in history, really. Like, to be like, this is my interface. I designed this. So yeah.
I remember that.
But yeah, so
That's all the bugs.
that is like, yeah, that is interesting to say the least, and I'm curious. I'm going to absolutely be submitting an interface myself, but when does it end? I don't remember when it ends. It doesn't say when it ends. That's kind of, why didn't they say that?
Jagex.
Nice
So
fail,
they
guys.
can-
Like, it's literally not on here as when it ends.
There's no deadline.
That's the catch.
Yeah.
There is no,
They'll never choose one because there's always going to be entries. But yeah. Okay. All that aside, Modmark released at the end of the BTS a gigantic laundry list, as I mentioned before. It includes RuneScape 3, Divination, the second new skill, the Dwarf Finale quest, Barrows Brothers, Epic World Events, Seasonal High Scores, Player-Owned Ports expansion, line spam,
Finally.
some silly quest called Bringing Home the Bacon that I'm pretty sure they tangentially hinted at in the funny podcast, in their funny lorecast thing. Yeah, I'm just not sure whether that was specifically...
Can I just make one comment on that first?
It had better
Before
not be the
ports.
ports.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that it's not going to be kosher.
Okay.
Agents questing game.
I quit.
Bacon.
I'm done. Okay, that's it. Upgraded tool belt, 4 6-stage quests. Like,
As long as
Same
they're
time.
not all 5 minutes. And
yeah, I know, right? As long as they're not all deadliest catches.
Which one is the Seercast quest you were talking about?
Probably. Loyalty store update, which has kind of been long awaited. A grouping system. Halloween. We're in June, guys. Why? What? Pickpocketing summoners. A bunch of combat stuff. New bosses. New elite combat mobs. New trees. Construction rework, and a new bank interface. Like, there's a whole ton of stuff that's clearly on the plate, that's in the pipeline, but what are we getting?
Yeah, it's like, please just tell us what the next couple updates are instead of just say, here's a big list of things.
But we know generally what is coming up-ish. And one thing that we heard in the podcast that was a few days ago was that it sounds like the Owen quests are like done, or the Owen quest, because it's just one, is basically done. So
we've also got the Just 30s in the we've got him up next to Walter.
oh yeah, but he's not in the call though. Yeah, he's not in the call, Lime. But yeah, so they have all of this stuff. And one of the things that is not on this list is the Owen quest. So I'm wondering if that is going to kind of officially makes that as the right. As the third update of this month. Like, I kind of feel like that's what it's going to end up being.
Yeah, that'd
Makes
be
sense.
terrible.
Like, I
It'd be
really
terrible.
wonder. Huh? Go on, Robo.
Oh, it'd be. I heard some rumors that, as Walter is saying, the Owen's quest might be 6th stage, but that wouldn't make any sense since it's the Black Knight's Fortress rework.
Yeah.
Because it takes place after all the other quests, yet it's a requirement for recruitment drive for Wanted, which is
unless they somehow nix the requirements and change that stuff up. I don't know. Yeah, it's we'll see about that, I suppose.
The temple, yet they want us to help because we're not in the right names.
Okay, so you have all of that. There's a ton of stuff that we could talk about, but we really don't have time to talk about all of it. So I guess I'm gonna open the floor for a couple things that we really probably do want to talk about, especially on this one. I think aside from the 6-stage quests, which we know that one of them has to do with Slisky.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this now. Finally, mages get level 90 gear. Okay, I'm done.
Really, we don't need to talk about RuneScape 3 because we've already talked a lot about that.
Yeah.
And we've barely gotten any more information on the divination skill or skill number 2 because he just
We
goes
don't
on
even
his own.
know what that is yet. Yeah. But it'll be
No, I won't tell
related
you what it is yet.
to divination. So,
Application again.
Dwarf
A lot
finale.
of these we've already talked about, and a lot of these are really vague. So
Yeah.
I suggest that we talk about the dwarf finale, player-owned ports, and the construction rework.
Well, what are we going to say about the player-owned ports? I mean, really, all we have to say is more islands, more adventures, more rewards. Like, okay, what else is there?
I'm not even at pincers yet.
Huh?
I'm not even at pincers yet.
You aren't?
I'm not.
What have you been doing?
Please.
Not-
Robo, please.
Robo, please. I've already gone through multiple level 10, pincer, crew members. I'm still trying to find my last 3. Ugh. Stupid thing. But yeah. So there's not really much to talk about with ports, other than, yeah, it's great. But, okay, more islands, more adventures, more rewards. And that is that. We've already really talked about the dwarf finale, haven't we? Like, in a different podcast?
We mentioned it when we were talking about, like, the RuneScape 3 stuff. We mentioned the quest, like, the voting thing.
Oh, I guess.
In the videos. We didn't really talk about specifically what it will be on, but...
Yeah, I guess.
Well, there is one thing to say about it. Zoe got one of his suggestions in to Mod Jane that the Watchtower quest would be required for it.
Ah, nice.
You know why it would be required?
Because of the... what is it called? I can't remember what it's called. Go on.
One of the ogre shamans who helped with Red Axe in earlier quests. And to kill
that's
an ogre
right.
shaman, you have to have those magic ogre potions or something.
Which you get from the Watchtower.
That
Yep.
ever ago?
Yeah, otherwise you can't kill them at all. So, if they didn't require that, you kill them. Logic.
Mm-hmm.
Requirements that make sense.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff here, but a lot of it is very vague. Like his description of the epic world events. Seriously, these are amazing and will change the future of RuneScape forever. However, I can't tell you anything else.
Cool.
Okay. I mean, that's like, really, that's not something I would have really, that's exactly what I've expected him to say, but still, it's like, it's not much you can go by. They briefly mentioned the new quest, the bringing home the bacon quest.
Agent's Quest.
In the in the lore cast, beyond the lore, or whatever they call it. I'm
wondering how another Barrows thing managed to show up on there.
Yeah, I know. But they just revamped God Wars Dungeon, so I'm wondering if it's going to be...
God.
I'm just saying, put something about Sliske in it, I'll be happy.
Yeah, well, I mean... There really isn't... When they did the rework of the Barrows brothers, or not the rework, but the graphical update, they didn't add lore. That's like the only update like that they haven't added lore to for years. For like the last year and a half, 2 years. That's like the only one. So I wonder if they're going to do something like that. And somehow make where you like, I don't know, maybe make you fight multiple at a time to do, I don't know what. It's like, that could be like anything. There's a whole lot of stuff they can do because there's 7 of them.
My reasoning for why they're getting an update is because Sliske got power from Gothic, so he wants to go power up his cronies.
I can see that. And
Yeah,
I can
sense.
absolutely see that, especially because he's talking about this stuff happening after the 6th age. Because the Barrows Whites are a Sliske creation, and we saw that with at the ritual.
That's one thing that can make sense. There isn't really...
Slow spell. Okay, never mind.
Now that Gothic's just got his spells moves five times faster. Although I have to admit, when you kill Gothic's, that spell went super fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pew! Just imagine it now, though. It's like, you can't even see it. It's like...
Oh dear.
I heard something on the thing. What if they took everyone who died in Wild Gothic Sleeves and made them into Barrows Whites?
Oh dear God. Please no, Hazelmere. Please no.
I was just about to say, please.
But it was Lucian that killed them. It wasn't Sliske that killed him. So that would like completely break the game. Like why would...
They can't though because they got disintegrated.
What? Yeah, that too. Like why would Sliske take Lucian's... Like why would they team... Why would he do... That doesn't even make any sense. Yeah, and he didn't kill the Barrows brothers, he just corrupted them.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that was a good idea or anything.
Yeah. It's not a good idea.
It's just like,
scary
it's
thought.
really mess with
Stupid.
people.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, so if there's... Let's see here. Construction rework is badly needed. I'm hoping that new trees... I can hear myself. Lime.
Huh?
I blame you.
What?
I see myself talking. when I talk in your mic. Okay, it's better now.
What?
Yes.
What?
Exactly.
What? Yeah, so new trees, I'm really hoping that means Karamja's getting a graphical rework.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Oh my god, yes.
It
Yes.
needs it so much.
It's not like I haven't said that for the last year. Or
This
3.
looks like the place is made of sad right now.
It really is.
hell.
I'd hope it doesn't need another graphical update.
Oh, Barrows doesn't. They're talking about Barrows.
Oh.
Man, how many times have they done that over?
They've updated the Barrows so many times.
Yeah.
I mean, then again, it is kind of like the classic PVM place. Like, it really was one of the first, wasn't it?
It's what made PVM cool.
It came out before God Wars Dungeon.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it came out way before God Wars Dungeon. Did
I
it?
think King Black Dragon and Calfight Queen beat them, though, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that's true. And was Dagonoth Kings out first too?
Yeah, it was.
I think those two were kind of in the same general time frame, but
But you don't see Dagonoth Kings getting an update.
they probably need it badly as well.
Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly for rewards purposes, because they don't drop a whole lot that's particularly valuable. And Gina's applying sandpaper to her mic.
I don't know why this keeps happening.
But okay, is there anything else for me to say
Crap.
about any of this? Something I do want to mention quickly about the tool belt update is, keyring, please.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Put the keyring
pouch,
on the
please.
frickin' belt.
Oh, yeah.
The what
One
pouch?
thing I would actually think to put on my
Bloom
belt.
pouch.
Oh, yeah.
Because magic, yeah, it just has to hold all those rooms.
I
No
can
reason for it.
kind of see that too. But I don't know about that. Maybe that, and maybe let us upgrade the pickaxe that's on there, similar-ish to the way Dungeoneering is, up
I
to a
remember
point.
seeing-
Like maybe
I remember-
maxing out at Mithril or Addy if you have the level for it.
What is this little BG?
Oh, and Slayer items, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true too, like rock hammers.
Yeah, or the rock hammer or something.
Slayer Helm
It'd be
needs
nice
a
to
gem
have that.
set. Why don't
'Cause-
you just put the
Cause every time you go to a gargoyle task and forget your rock hammer, a puppy dies.
Somehow I've never done that.
I have.
I've done it
And
so
I
many
don't,
times.
Same.
and I don't even Slayer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's-
haven't because I don't Slayer.
Good for
I do
you.
that all the time.
It's so easy to just forget something.
You know, I
But
actually
Walter says he does it a lot, but it's to kill the
Okay.
puppies.
just kill the gargoyles and pick up their coins and go buy one from Kurodel.
Yeah,
Like, the people there just like leave their coins on the ground, so I pick them up.
that's true. You can just buy one from her, but that takes effort.
That gives you like 2 rock hammers and then,
Yeah, I know, right? Then again, I guess you can have one as a placeholder for I don't know
Right.
what reason.
yeah, and then when you forget
Yeah,
again,
but
you're just
then
like, damn it.
Okay.
Now I have 7 rock hammers.
They just keep
I will
piling
bring
up.
them all. Not like they drop
You
anything
just have in
anyway.
your bank 2.14 billion rock hammers.
Like, I'm a forgetful person.
2.14 billion. Oh my god. It's like the person that buys that many needles for I don't even know what reason. Just because they can.
It's for the sake of making other people cry.
I guess it's the same reason as the fact that I have 167,000 baskets in my bank. I blame Robo for that though. I think it was Robo that gave them to me.
What?
I think
the
you were the
baskets?
one that gave me the 168,000 baskets.
Oh, yeah, I did do that.
I still have them in my bank because
Oh my gosh.
it's always funny if somebody asks me about like what kind of crap I have in my bank. I just be like, I have 168,000 baskets, I just pull him out and trade.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it is how Robo became poor because he bought 168,000 baskets. Alright, Robo. Well, then, I believe Robo's leaving us, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up pretty soon here. I don't think there's much else for us to talk about, but,
yeah.
Goodbye, Robo.
Yeah. Watch. We're gonna keep talking for another 2 hours.
Please,
no. We're not gonna shut up.
We're
That's
just barely over an hour. Like, this is good. This is progress. We're not at an hour 40. We're not at 2.5 hours like we've unfortunately done in the past. We're sorry for that, by the way.
Getting there.
I'll be back.
We're not going on for another hour, Robo. We'll just say goodbye now for you. If we are, you have the right to come and just, like, slap the crap out of us.
Yeah. At that point, we'd need it.
Yeah, really. Yeah. I don't even know what else we'd talk about. I mean, I guess go back to emissaries, but...
I could just like... Penguins.
No, we're not talking about penguins. But yeah, okay. So I guess I don't believe there is much else for us to talk about with any of this, except just kind of we're going to keep an eye on the BTS, really the BTS videos, because I guess that's going to be our best source of what is happening. What do you mean watch the live streams?
Fingers crossed for ports.
Oh. Yeah. I don't think ports are going to be anytime soon, though. I don't think so. Because they only just recently, like, decided they were doing that. And we know how long it takes, the development process for a lot of this stuff. Yeah. So, I wouldn't expect that anytime soon. But yeah. So, as for the next podcast, it's going to depend on what the updates are going to be that are not written down. If something gigantic shows up, such as divination, such as
then we're gonna
big
do a
quest, we're gonna do another
spam.
podcast, probably a much shorter one than this.
Expect lots of
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
goddamn.
Lime.
Had to happen.
We're always so close, and then Lime just
Had to happen.
it has to happen. So if something big comes out, I would expect a podcast from us. I believe Kitten is going to be in charge of Twittering for us, apparently.
It'll be interesting.
We'll see how that goes, but, we will have an official Twitter, a semi-official Twitter for us, and hopefully we can kind of start growing a bit. And if you have any comments, if you have any suggestions, if you have whatever, post them in comments. Send me a private message on YouTube, etc. Again, stay tuned for our next podcast. Maybe later this month, might be beginning of next month. Depends on the updates, but I believe that is it for all of us here with the Seercast, which is our new name. Yay. Ooh. And yes, so unless it's any closing thoughts from the rest of you before we shut this down?
Really?
Nope.
Nope. Alright, then we're good. Okay, Lod.
Yep.
2. In before 3. Then I guess that's it from all of us, and we will see you either this month or next month. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.